Thanks for joining us in St. Paul at the Xcel Energy Center, the state of hockey. I'm Dave Fisher from USA Hockey, and we're here to officially make the announcement of who our 2014 head coaches of the U.S. National Junior Team, not only the head coach, but also the coaching staff. What a terrific weekend. I mean, I think everyone here, and certainly those of you that are paying attention across the world, terrific weekend of hockey, culminating tonight, of course, with the WCHA Final Five Championship game. The Minnesota Wild excited the home fans, I guess, just a little bit ago. We were pleased at USA Hockey to announce the winner of the Patty Kazmaier Memorial Award over in Minneapolis earlier today, Amanda Kessel from the University of Minnesota. And of course, the Women's Frozen Four Championship game is tomorrow afternoon at Ritter between Minnesota and Boston University. So we're just really pleased to be a part of this terrific weekend. Really like to thank Bruce McLeod and his staff at the WCHA for always being so welcoming and inviting whenever we need to make an announcement. It's always great to join you here in St. Paul. Jack Larson and his staff at the Xcel Energy Center, you heard about them in the last press conference, and we can only echo that at USA Hockey, what terrific people they are, and always, again, so helpful, and certainly Craig Leopold and the Wild staff as well. So without any further ado, I'd like to turn it over to Jim Johansson. I think many of you in the room know Jim from Rochester, Minnesota, not too far from the Twin Cities here, a two-time Olympian. Full-time, he is the Assistant Executive Director of Hockey Operations for USA Hockey, and he'll be in his 5th straight year as the General Manager of our U.S. National Junior Team this year. Coincidentally, the last 4 years have been our best stretch in our country in terms of medal haul, winning, of course, gold medal last year, gold medal in 2010, and the bronze in 2011 under Jim's leadership. And here to make our formal announcement, I'd like to turn it over to Jim.
Sorry.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
Thanks. Thanks, Dave, and echo Dave's thoughts. It's really a pleasure to be a part of the great hockey weekend here in Minnesota with everything going on from the WCHA championships to the Frozen Four, and certainly the state of hockey is alive and well in Minnesota here. So it's for us, the World Juniors is obviously a very exciting event that has grown so much over time with not only the television exposure, but really the level of play in the championships of the future stars of the game, and how rapidly they rise from the World Junior Championships to being on the ice in the National Hockey League and starring in NCAA buildings throughout the course of their collegiate careers. But just the level of play that comes with the World Juniors makes it exciting for a lot of hockey fans. For us, I'm just going to go a little bit process-wise. The player selection process is ongoing, constantly watching games. Tim Taylor is our Director of Player Personnel, not with us today, but I really need to acknowledge Tim and everything that he puts into our program as we evaluate players from across the country to build into the championships. At a later date, we will be announcing formally our summer camp in Lake Placid. We'll be returning there. We've been there for several years now, but we will be back to Lake Placid in August, August 3 to 10, with our summer camp, and finalize our roster for that sometime prior to the NHL draft. So in June, we'll have the camp selection participants out to people. Before getting into the head coach, I do want to introduce the rest of the coaching staff that's going to be involved in the championships this year. First off, our video coach, Dan Muse, currently at Yale University, has been 8 seasons as an assistant coach, and Dan was with our team last year, so again brings the experience of last year's team to the tournament to assist our coaching staff. Assisting the head coach here, Greg Brown, current associate head coach at Boston College. Greg as well was a 2-time Olympian and wore the U.S. jersey on several fronts, and has been a part of our Lake Placid summer camps a few times, and will join his first U.S. National Junior Team staff. Dave Lasan will work mainly with the goaltenders, is at Denver University, 25-year collegiate coach, and has worked closely with Don in the past on camps and things of that nature, and a long-time relationship. And Dave was with us as well last year, and obviously did a fantastic job with John Gibson, who was a star of the tournament, and we're looking forward to Dave being back with the junior team next year. Also, Bob Motzkow. Bob Motzkow, the head coach, 8th season at St. Cloud State. Obviously, as well, had a relationship working with Don in the past at the University of Minnesota. Great success in the United States Hockey League as a head coach, and again, a coach that for us brings a wealth of experience to to the team and to the championships. Our head coach, obviously, Don Lucia. It's when people ask, I know we're going to get a question and answer and things like that. I think it's one of the most exciting things for me is now to be able to work alongside Don as we build into the World Junior Championships. I think his coaching career, 26 years as an NCAA head coach with a lot of success from national championships to the amount of wins, but also the kind of hockey that I think Don has coached was probably the biggest intrigue for why Don should be coaching the national junior team. He's in the program that plays on the international size ice. Obviously plays up-tempo, high-pace hockey. That's exciting for hockey fans, exciting for players. And for those that watch the World Juniors, that's the hockey. And I think from our standpoint in trying to build out a staff, when Tim and I started talking and discussing things, Don was a guy that for a long time we've talked about having involved in the national junior team. And I think with that, you always try to find the right setting that makes the most sense for not only the program, but certainly for the coaches that are involved in it, because in the end, they really are volunteers. USA Hockey is a volunteer organization, and when we go approach guys to coach our national teams, our Olympic teams, and our national junior teams, they're really volunteers that are giving back to the development of U.S. players and representing the United States on the international stage. So as we got looking into the tournament, being in Malmo, Sweden, looking at the player pool and trying to determine the right fit for it, I think it became readily apparent for us that Don was the right choice for this team. And it just seems to make sense for University of Minnesota, plays on international ice, the tournament in Sweden, obviously a rich heritage of Swedes in Minnesota here. We'll be following the championships, and we'll go after them again. But all of that just seemed to make a lot of sense for us for Don to be the head coach of this team. So we're obviously very excited as we build into it. It's a great championship, and it's a thrill for me to be able to now work with another great NCAA collegiate coach with a great career, and for Don to come represent USA Hockey at the World Junior Championship. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jim. I'm so excited to have this opportunity. You know, when I started coaching many years ago, one of the things I hope to be able to do is be involved maybe with an Olympic team or a U.S. World Junior team. And so when Jim offered me the opportunity, obviously it's something you're going to jump at. To be maybe because of the pros are in the Olympics now, this is the next best thing, because you do have the best players in the world under 20 performing in this tournament. So it's a great event. I've had the privilege to coach a lot of our players from the University of Minnesota, have had the opportunity to go and play on the World Junior team just about every single year, and they all come back raving about the experience, about the tournament, about how professional everything is, and so for me to have that opportunity, I'm very excited. I think we have a great staff. I really tried to put together a staff that had experience certainly in big stages. I look at Dave Lassonde as somebody that has a great background with the goaltenders. He did a great job this year. He's coached under some outstanding collegiate coaches, whether Dick Umili on the East or now George Gwozdecki. Dan Muse, I know when Grant had a chance to work with him this year at the World Juniors, he just raved about what a great job he did with the video when they were over there. And I had a chance to meet Dan. I was in Lake Placid last summer working with the team in the evaluation process, and also, you know, getting an opportunity to kind of get a little dry run last summer what this experience would probably be like if I was in fact selected. Greg and I were roommates in Lake Placid last summer. Obviously have great respect for him and what he's been able to do and assisting Boston College in the great run, great personality, and also that get some of that East-West flavor. I think that's important for staff as well. And obviously Bob and I have a great relationship. He was on the bench. We won our couple national titles the 4 years we've spent together here, and we continue to have a great relationship. So I thought he would be a great fit. He was really excited about the opportunity as well. So I do think we have a great staff, and as a head coach, I've always felt that you better surround yourself with great people, and I think we've been able to do that with the group that we have.
Okay, if you're watching out there too, I think we told you, obviously we'll take the questions from the media here in the room. If you have any questions, we'll try and get to some on Twitter at USA Hockey, and just use the hashtag AskDon. That's not meant to replace the terrific media, Jess, that are here in the room. Before we get to questions, just a couple other things I wanted to tell you, just particularly for the media, so you know as we work with this team and building up. Matt Trevor from our communication staff is the main interface for the national junior team, and he'll be in Lake Placid and with the team, so note that. If you don't have his contact information, I can give it to you afterwards. Of course, all the games will be televised live on the NHL Network, and we're extremely pleased to have them as a partner. A busy, busy time here coming up in the next few weeks here for USA Hockey with our Toyota USA Hockey National Championships all beginning. A lot of World Championships over the course of the next 4 or 5 weeks. The Women's World Championship, of course, in Ottawa here in early April. The Under-18 Men's World Championship is in Sochi, Russia. That's the test event for the Olympics. The Sled Hockey World Championships, of course, Jeff Sauer, who most of us know here in the room, and is our head coach. That is happening in Korea, and then the Men's World Championship in early May. And all those games on the Men's World Championship will be on the NBC Sports Network, too. We're really pleased about that.